Now let's talk about the left hand. The left hand is in the traditional grip. It looks like this. Okay. And compared to the right hand, it is an underhand grip. Okay? The right hand has the hand on top of the stick. The left hand has it under the stick. Okay? Just so you understand why traditional grip exists first. Back in the Revolutionary War, drummers were used in combat to communicate war signals, like how they're going to attack the other guy. There would be like a different cadence for the different maneuvers. But the key idea here is that they didn't have the fancy metal harnesses that we have. They were wearing them with a rope. And when they're worn on a rope, these drums are tilted. They're not flat like you see here. They're more like this, okay? It's more like this. Now what happens if you use match grip? If a tilted surface like this? Shoulder has to be way up, and that's super uncomfortable. And when you're doing this for 12 hours a day, you're not going to survive if you do that. So what they did is they started holding it like this. And that was way better. Obviously we've gone a long way. Right? Now it looks like this, but the same kind of principle is still there. But something you may notice is that we still have our drums flat, but we also use the grip that accounts for the tilt. It's a big contradiction, right? But pretty much how it ended up in the modern day is we use traditional grip because it's tradition. And I guess it looks cool. So that's why traditional grip exists, and there's not really a good reason for us to use it in the modern day, but we still do, because for the longest time, holding the sticks like this was the only way people held sticks, even when they were playing drum set, okay? And it wasn't until the Beatles, when Ringo Starr decided to do this. It was very controversial at the time. Generally, we all use this match grip now, but in this one application of drumming, we have this. So, now how do you do it? So, the most important thing, and something that you need to be aware of, is hand position. The hand needs to be in this vertical handshake position and not like this. Okay? It needs to be in this vertical handshake position to where the palm is facing the wall rather than the ceiling. Okay? If you're able to put water in your palm and it stays, you're doing it wrong. It's a good analogy to think of this. If you put water in my hand now, it's not going to work, which is a good thing. That's what we want. First thing we do is we put the stick in between our thumb and our index finger in this webbing here. Okay? And this is where our fulcrum is going to be. Okay? Just like how we had it between the thumb and index finger in the right hand. It's still between our thumb and index finger here, but it's a little bit different, as you can see. Okay? And before we talk about the other fingers, I just want you to be able to play notes with an open hand, and you're pretty much doing this with your thumb, with a combination of twisting the doorknob. Right? It's one way to twist a doorknob, right? So just play eighth notes and just really use the bounce. Keep your hand nice and open. Okay? This is how you start. Obviously, if you walk into the audition trying to, you might have trouble, okay? The next thing we do is we give it a shelf. We give the stick a shelf to sit on, which is going to be our ring finger. So it's specifically going to rest on the first outermost section of your ring finger. Okay, like on the side of it, in line with your fingernail there. Make sure you're accurate with this and make sure it doesn't like go over there, because that's going to make bad habits. And the pinky just supports it under. Okay, don't overthink that. The next part is the index finger. Looks like this. the thumb is going to be on top of the index finger, while the index finger just wraps around the stick. It should contact the stick on the side of the index finger, right on this joint. Okay? And it should be slightly curved like this. Okay? And then the next crucial part is the middle finger. You want it nice and straight, like you're mad at someone. Okay? There's no better analogy. If you've ever been bowling, it acts as those fences that keep it in the lane when you're bad at bowling. Essentially, it supports it so that it doesn't go that way. Okay? Okay, the ring and pinky finger support it from below so that it doesn't go down. Middle finger stops it from going to the side towards the outside of your hand. And then the ring finger is one of the primary points of the finer control, like how you're going to be doing these diddles here, and it's also going to prevent it from going that way. Okay? And it should be very relaxed in your hand. If you're squeezing between the thumb and ring finger, you're going to mess up your hands and it's going to hurt and you're not going to play as well. It should be very relaxed. If you're feeling tense, always go back to this and build it from the ground up again. Okay? And as you set these fingers, your grip might end up wandering to this flatter palm up kind of thing, and this is what we want to avoid. So what we can do is double check where the stick is touching the fingers and make sure your middle finger is nice and straight. Right? It's very important to keep that handshake position with the palm facing the wall. And the reason why is because, as you saw with our technique for getting accents, we need to be able to lift like to this vertical stick height to where the stick is like a rocket ship. Okay? It's only going to be possible for the left hand to do this if you have the palm facing the wall, so that you can go all the way up to there. No problem. It'll feel a little weird at first. If you have your palm flat like that, then you're already maxed out on your rotation, and you can only go up like halfway, and it hurts. So don't do that. Go from here to there. Okay? Generally, having straighter fingers like that is going to get you what you need. And as you do these strokes, like these high strokes here, you should feel like a little bit of air. Like it should kind of like be floating in between your index finger and ring finger. Okay? If you're not feeling that, then that means you're probably squeezing the stick a lot. It should feel like you're dribbling a basketball. And this is a warm-up exercise that we do all the time on the drum line. Just 8 on a hand. It's just 4/4, and it's just 8 eighth notes on the right and 8 eighth notes on the left. And really think about going through the drum and let gravity bring the stick down, and the bounce from the drum bringing the stick up, so that we don't have to do as much.